Let's get started, guys, with the end game of Path of Exile. So the first thing that you do after you killed Katava, you go back to town, right? You want to talk to Lonnie. She's going to give you a book that will give you skill points. Make sure you guys activate it. And then also the last thing you want to do is type in /passives. If you've been following this guide, then you'll have all of the passives except for deal with the bandits, because that one we get extra resistances. But basically you want to make sure that you have all of these, except for the last one, it's going to say 2, but all of them, unless you've sided with a bandit, then you're not going to have this one, which is fine. But that's the way it works, because you selected the bandit instead of the extra passive. So after you do that, you talk to Lily Roth. And then we're going to set sail from Oriath. It's going to have this little, like, introduction to the endgame, and I'm going to show you guys how the endgame works.
Commander, till next time.
So we're gonna go get this crafting recipe. We gotta do this giant little walk around into the end game. You can talk to the NPCs here, but it really doesn't matter. We're just here to get to the end game and show off the map system. So like I said, it's a giant walk around. Oh, is it right here? It's right here. It's a little sliver. But yeah, you can talk to the NPCs if you want to, but we're going to go straight into the endgame maps. And you want to ideally have what's called a hideout. If you don't have a hideout, you can talk to the NPC Helena. And if you need to get a hideout, you can get one in starting in Act 2, there's one. There's also in the sewers in Act 3, there's another one that you can grab. But you just basically look for a little blue icon, you kill all the enemies, and you're going to get a hideout. But that's how you can get a hideout. Ideally, you want to have your own hideout here, but for the sake of it, I'm just going to use this one, just because this way it looks exactly the same, because every hideout looks differently. So anyways, you're going to talk to Commander Kyrak. He's going to give you a map. Now, what you want to do, you may have maps already as you progress through the end game. You want to pick up all the maps that you see on the floor, by the way. Pretty much in the very beginning, you want all of them. So what you want to do is you want to hold Alt to see which maps are considered incomplete. We're going to do a map, and then we'll do it. In the very beginning, I don't have any maps, so we're just going to select whatever. It doesn't really matter which one you select. You're going to do all of them anyways. So we're going to identify it. You're going to see if I hold Alt, it'll say Atlas map, incomplete, bonus objective, incomplete. If we do this map, as long as it's blue, we will get the bonus objective. If we do the other maps, it may require us to do a rare map or a corrupted map in order to get what's called the Atlas bonus, which will give us a bonus point. To answer your question, this is a PoE 1, because it just got an update. Yeah, it is not PoE 2. But anyways, we're going to go to the map device. We then are going to grab our map and then put it in here. The other way to do it, the fast way, is you hold Control and you click on it. And then we're going to go ahead and start the map. And so what you do in these maps, you have 6 tries to do the map. If you fail or die 6 times, that's it. There are certain exceptions to certain maps, but for the most part, yeah, you go in and you just really want to kill the boss. In the very beginning, you don't really have to worry about too much about killing all of the... also, be careful on strong boxes. Some of them will have, like, explodes corpses, or that one was, like, freeze, which was kind of dangerous. But if any maps drop, pick them up. You want them. And the reason why you want them is because you're going to run lots of maps. This is the end game. And this is the introduction to it. So, how the map works, if you want the bonus to be completed, you have to just kill the boss. So we're going to look for the boss on the map. And this build is relatively fast, so it's good. Ideally, you want to try to select something that can do fast clear. You can make a bossing build. Let's see if this one has any. This one has a Scarab. It does have a Vol Grace. It has a Hatred. It's not like too bad. It has Ice Shot. Only 2 support gems is kind of weird. So there's not really anything in here that I want. But we can go ahead and take the item just so we rotate through it. But some of these can be very dangerous. So be careful when you do take some of these. Since this league is kind of challenging with specifically these NPCs. So we're just going to keep on progressing until we get to the boss. And we'll do, for the sake of it being kind of a little thorough, because I want to show you guys kind of how I do it, so kind of you'll understand how we kind of progress. So we're just really looking for the boss. Don't feel like you have to kill every single enemy. Unless you really juiced up the map. And you'll see on the top right where it says more than 50 monsters remain. this is where the boss is going to be. So we'll go eliminate the boss. And it's going to say talk to Commander Kyrek. We have an Atlas passive point. Also, the game doesn't pause unless you hit escape. It's a newer addition to the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to town here, and then we are going to talk to Commander Kyrek, and he's going to talk for a second. Now, we did get a bunch of maps on that map, and what we do also get when we complete the Atlas bonus, which for our case, if it's a white map, you just want to make sure it's at least blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to get an Atlas passive point. So we can click on here, and we are going to be able to pick something for our character. So this is another brand new skill tree. Now, what do I recommend going into? Whatever you have the most fun with. So for beginners, I actually think shrines are excellent because shrines give your character a boost. You can also get an item called the Goal for very cheap that will boost up the shrine effect and duration. That makes this one of the most OP things in the game. There's also another one where you can't affect the maps except for fragments or divine vessels, but this grants you 20 Atlas passive points. You can rush this one, and it is actually pretty dang good as well, but you can actually just run a bunch of maps in the very beginning once you grab this, and then unspec out of it later, and then just put in all your currency. It's like one of the easiest big brain plays ever. It does take a while to get to it, but along the path, what you can do is tag all of the shrines and strong boxes. Shrines and strong boxes are relatively straightforward, so I would say that they're pretty friendly. So you can type in the word shrine, and this makes it so every map will contain at least one shrine, and there's ones where the shrines will get increased buff effects. I think the shrines are an excellent choice, as well as strong boxes, because it's a straightforward mechanic. There's not too much to teach, but you actually have to choose what you enjoy, and I can't say, you know, what you enjoy. That's totally up to you. The one thing with strong boxes is you do want immunity to freeze, so there is a Pantheon system where you can actually get, and one thing that I recommend for all beginner players to get with these Pantheon system is the one that you want is immunity to freeze, which you have to like actually capture the soul with. There's a little item which we may talk about later, but this is kind of just the introduction to it. But there's one that I actually really like for like the powers. I think it's like this one's additional physical damage reduction. That's okay if you want to grab that, or reduce effective shock. But the one that you really want to try to get if you're doing shrines is this one, 100%. But get the one that you prefer. After we do a map and we get the bonus, this is how we get these points. I'm going to do one more map just so you guys can see it. That way it makes more sense. But as far as getting more maps, where can you get more maps if you run out? You can get them through the campaign towards the very end, specifically like Act 9 and 10. But I would recommend just going to Commander Kyrek, and you can purchase these for Orbs of Chance. You can also trade these with other players, and I would recommend just getting these from other players versus just trying to farm them in the game if you're unable to get them. But right now you can see this Dunes map is incomplete. Now if I want the Atlas bonus, again, for my hotkey is G for the Atlas screen right here, but you want to open this up, and if you mouse over it, for the bonus objective, you'll see it says bonus, kill boss of magic or higher. How it works is the white maps will want you to be at least magic, the yellow maps will want you to actually make it rare, and then the red maps you have to actually corrupt them, which can kind of lead to some scenarios where the map becomes unplayable. One thing that you want to make sure that you note of is if the monsters have some sort of mod that, or these maps have mods that can completely brick build. There's ones where you cannot regen, there's damage reflection. You have to really watch out for certain ones like that that will definitely affect your gameplay. So watch out for that, and that will really help out your build. But we're going to do another map real quick, and this guy I guess is buying an item, so we're going to go ahead and actually sell him an item here. This is just kind of something that you definitely want to try to do in the end game too. You're like, trading items is really key to progression in Path of Exile. And if you know what certain levels that people want on certain gems for various thresholds because of requirements, you can actually sell pretty low level gems like that one right there. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue. So this map over here, we don't have to do it in yellow to get the bonus. We only need it to go to blue. So you may want to just use your own currency. So like over here, this is going to upgrade a white item to a blue, which is a magic. So we can do this one. Maybe I'm like, man, I really need my curses. Okay, I can't do that one. Like for example, okay, this one, they gain more extra HP. Most of the stuff in the blue ones, they're not really a big threat, but if it says reflects elemental damage or physical damage, it's a game over for your build if you do that. So again, we're gonna make sure we're always doing maps the say Atlas map and bonus objective incomplete. We want to do all the maps so we can get all of the Atlas bonuses. So this is the Atlas screen. We want to get all the bonuses, all of them. Now, to be honest, most people will probably get like 90% of the maps done. What class is good for a new player? You play PoE 2 right now. 100%. I promise you, my brother. The Amazon is the best PoE 2 class, and you want to run Lightning Spear. It is by a long shot the best. We got some div cards. Okay. Another thing that I actually learned is you can hit Control and just click. Oh, did he already? Oh, here he is. These guys sometimes do really, really big damage, so you got to be kind of careful. Okay. So. Again, make sure you pick up all of the maps. If you don't have what's called a loot filter, you can consider getting one, because if you don't, at the end game, there's genuinely too many items sometimes, and it's kind of frustrating to deal with. But yeah, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the last map that I show off for like the end game. However, I'll also talk about other sources of upgrades that your character can get. And if you're following this from my like level 1 guide, you guys can also check out. I'll also link another video that will continue the playthrough, just because. Up until the new bosses, like everything is going to be the same. Like you're going to have to do Shaper, you're going to have to do the Guardians. Like these are all things that I already have the content ready for. So I'm just going to link you guys this if you want to continue this build, because this is pretty much one of the same builds that I play every single league, because it is super OP. But what we're going to do now is look for the boss. And oh, here's the boss. It is the blacksmith. And he is defeated, and we get the bonus. Now, on the top right, you'll see that it says more than 50 enemies remain. If you got a healthy amount of maps, don't worry about like doing this, where you try to clear out the map more. Another thing is that your XP is tied. Like we're level 70, this is level 69. We're still getting pretty good XP. It's when you're like 5 levels above the area where you stop getting good XP. Honestly, getting to like level like 95 is pretty hard. I would say to get to 100 most people probably won't ever hit it, to be honest. Like you get to about like 90 to 93 is pretty much the average that people get to, because when you die you lose out on XP, which is very, very bad. But it's normal to, again, it takes so long to level up once you're at like level 95 that again, most people won't hit it. So don't feel like you have to hit 100, but you really want to hit at least like level 92, 93. 95 is kind of hard to get, because like it takes hours of maps just to get like one level, and if you die once, if you die one time, you can lose hours of progress. It is painful, but it's how Path of Exile is, man. It's just how it is. Anyways, we have another Atlas point, so I'm going to keep on moving up. Remember, for me at least, I'm going to be getting the shrines. Now, another thing I want to mention is, again, you should be doing this at your own hideout, by the way. But you're going to be able to place a map device, and you'll set it down. It's a pretty easy thing to do. It'll just have a little thing, and you go to like map device. I wish I could show you it here, but we'd have to be in the hideout. So if you want to see, actually we should show an example. I think it's kind of important to go over it. So what you can do is you'll see that there's a little button here. You can do edit, and you can actually put decorations, and you can type in whatever things that you need, whether it's the waypoint. You place everything on your own. It's like, you know, Minecraft or whatever. You got to do everything on your own. And then you have your own hideout. You can place, oh, well, not while it's in editing mode, but you basically get to put your map in here, and you have like, you can put your stash wherever. Like you place everything manually on your own. And then what we can do also, let's go back to the part 10. You can always technically just play in the epilogue. Like you can just sit here if you don't want to make your hideout for whatever reason. I've seen people do it, but I don't recommend it. Anyways, another thing that you can get for a big upgrade is doing your other ascendancies. But the last one that you do, you make sure that you do all of them. But the last one will require what's called an offering to the goddess. How do we get that? We can do it by playing the maps and then doing inside of the map. There is a trial of ascendancy inside, and if you complete it at the very end, there is an offering to the goddess. Would I recommend doing that? No, it's just because you have to find it. So what I recommend doing is just trading for the item, offering to the goddess. And then you just hit search, and it'll cost a couple chaos orbs, and you can see you can purchase these with other players for some in-game currency. So yeah, it's just the chaos orbs. So that is a way where you guys can do the final lab. Don't feel like you have to do it as soon as you complete the end game, though. Like, get a couple levels, and then you can complete it. But the whole goal is basically to keep on slamming maps again and again. You want to do these. Basically, it's part of your progression. Again, I'll link another video that goes through if you are following this as a build guide, but like this is basically an introduction to the end game and what you want to do. And this is where you can also build whatever stuff that you want to spec into. If you're like, I really like rituals, I like blight, I like any of these sort of mechanics, play the thing that you want. I wouldn't recommend copying another player's like thing unless you know that you like that mechanic, because someone could say, oh man, this is the best thing ever, but like you may not know how to use the crafting in ROG, because that's a very bad thing for a beginner. I would say if I was to make a recommendation, the easiest ones are like that as far as like what you need to do, right? You can do essences, which just you go in, you click on the thing, you kill the monster. You could do strong boxes, you click on the thing, the monster comes out, you kill it. It's straightforward. There's not like, oh, do I need to set this thing up? There's a lot of stuff in Path of Exile that's like kind of overwhelming, and I get it, but I'm mentioning it. This thing is good. Shrines are good. Covert Shrine's a little bit dangerous because it makes you take more damage, but like you get increased quantity. It's pretty good. Basically, shrines are going to still be a huge benefit because there's a really cool one where shrines give you an additional buff, and again, you get this with a goal, and you will be flying through the game. I'm going to actually grab a goal. Really good item, and it's super cheap. But anyways, that's an introduction to the end game. Just keep on slamming out maps, man. You're just going to get a lot of these done. You can see there's 115 of them. Honestly, you can get about 90, and that's where most people kind of tap out. So don't feel like you have to do all of them, but if you do, it's good. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for our introduction to the end game. But again, check the pin. It's really important because there's going to be more stuff that I'll be mentioning later. But I already have the content for a bunch of these other bosses that will appear in these maps. I already have that ready, so I'm just going to let you guys check that out, as that hasn't changed. Now, the other super endgame bosses that are brand new, I'll make a separate video for that because that's new content, and it's going to take me some time to get there. But this way, you guys have all the content ready for you guys to go and play. But anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in for part 1. I'll see you guys in the next one.